What's up, everybody? That's Church of Eight Wheels. That's the music I like to do to get this started, to get these streams started, to get the energy going. Folks, welcome. Let me know if you can hear me okay in the chat room. I am, of course, Big Cheds from Twitter. And you know me, Bitcoin Live. I am Big Cheds there. I've been doing those reports since the beginning of time there. Cheds Trading on YouTube. Folks, I started a brand new playlist, which is called Daily Education. I've been putting out, 3-minute video every day, and my goal is to create a lot more free education, a lot more daily content. And so make sure you check out the Daily Education video, all the great stuff I have here for you. As you know, I published 4 books. And I've got versions, free versions of those books essentially here on my YouTube page. You can check out the Trading Journal. Of course, it's on Amazon right now. But we're here to talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, some of these altcoins, and I want to see what you folks, what you have to say. I was super active last week, right? We had the Bitcoin live sale, so I was on streaming like every day, and that's not normal for me. I really only do these streams here on YouTube twice a week, Tuesday and Friday, and I'll sometimes skip. So I always, it's always a fun opportunity. I always think it's a nice pleasure for me to be able to hang out here with you folks. So let's get right into it. What I want to talk about with Bitcoin, and I'll jump into the chat room and see how everybody's doing. I want to talk about on Bitcoin is we've had the weekly chart consolidating, near the peak of the move, right? It's been high and tight, and it's been price above EMA 8, and we've been in consolidation phase ever since this inside bar. And so we've been in this consolidation phase and the price is holding gains, while we've been in the consolidation phase. And then we started to dip here a little bit in the daily chart. We started to see first close below the daily MA50 since like 80K, roughly 80, 85K. And we saw brief test of 100K zone. So price had been before this, when it's just up here, when it's chilling, when it's tightening range, you're still marking out your levels below 96K zone, 100K zone, right? Local support where the price had responded previously, and then some type of a deeper, weekly level, like a panic level. So the price actually got to a key level, right? It had been really boring, and we finally had interaction with a key level. All right, what do you do when what's the rule of thumb, folks? You've watched me long enough. What's the rule of thumb to drop to low time frame? Well, when the price is at a key level or when there's volatility. And by the way, if you haven't, folks, I talked about that a little bit. I did a video with Eric Crown. He's got a huge YouTube channel and a great audience. He's super prolific. Definitely check out our video if you haven't seen that yet. I had a lot of fun with him. So you drop to low time frame. What does that mean? Well, in this candle that we're looking at in the daily, okay? In this candle, if I can grab it, the candle we're looking at here in the daily is when within this candle, you're dropping to 4 hour because the price is testing a key level. You see a local breakdown. You're starting to look at momentum. You see a local breakdown here, lost this low. You see these lows. You see these support levels being tested and broken. And you start to form, when you see this happening, it's not, you want to say, okay, that's nice, but you want to not always jump at it because this is, a morning star or a morning doji star if you want, given the small body. Most of the time, you're just going to see a move back to maybe MA20, right? Because it's in a pretty good downward channel. But still, the 4H outside bar told you that a bounce was beginning. Question of how strong the bounce is going to be. Folks, great chat room. I'll get to all you guys, or I'll try to get to a lot of you in a second. So the bounce is beginning. How do you know? Well, here we go. Bitcoin, here's my tweet. Bitcoin 4H also working on outside because Ethereum had an outside bar. And what was amazing was Ethereum, after showing us all this weakness, here, all the warning signs, it dropped right back to where we said, or I said I'd want to buy it, and it bounced off of it. Just like super easy TA, right? Super easy trading, simple high time frame level. And you had I first put out a tweet saying, Ethereum 4H outside bar here with price at key high time frame level. So this is here essentially a price This is the low time frame signal with an understanding. This is a perfect example with an understanding of the high time frame and the importance of that local level to the high time frame chart. Okay. So you get that. And I said, all right, hey folks, 4H also with Bitcoin. So that was okay. You know what? We're beginning to bounce. How strong is it going to be? We shall find out. Okay. And it should never be too surprising that the 4 hour that was bearish turns around and rejoins the trend on the daily and the weekly, which are uptrends, right? So we had the bounce off of the 4H. And so I put out a tweet here. Oh, I forgot to mention my favorite exchange, Bing X. If you're looking for somewhere to trade, check them out. Here we go. So this is interesting. This is a little bit, we started to break through 100K. So we had the 100K loss and recapture. Okay. So you could have taken, very simply put, a long position on a recapture, something like 100K recapture, 101K rather, 101K recapture, or even a little bit more conservative, somewhere around here, 102K, 103K. Any one of these you'd be in profit, because it's the idea of using a recaptured lost support level as a thesis, as a way to define your risk. And for everybody who's watching, didn't see earlier, folks, I'm doing a brand new daily video series, daily education. Check that out. Check out the trading quotes playlist as well. I've got a ton of stuff on my YouTube. Make sure you check it out. So we had that momentum recapture, and you get that long trigger, and now the price is consolidating. But my thought was, as I illustrated to you here with this tweet, range low recapture circa 100K. I think we just showed that. DMA 50 just above. So we're bouncing into resistance at this point. We're in a clear falling channel. We're looking at this construction. We're observing the lower high structure, the series of lower highs, a bounce towards a lower high, even here a lower high. You did have an initial pause here, right? You had an initial pause here, but you actually, this is a nice high and tight 4 hour, and it just continued from there. I put out another tweet on that. I don't have it in front of me right now, of course, but you had the initial lower high tested, and then here's this next one. And so my idea was, we've got the range low recapture. It's still likely to consolidate, or what I'm trying to imply or say is price looks to set a lower high in daily somewhere where between here and 107K. Okay. I mean, to prove I'm not a wizard, the price went above 107K. So, you know, and it went up to whatever, 108, right? And so maybe that this is the lower high right here, 108. It wasn't 107. Okay. So we have a potential for a lower high here. And now we look for high or low. We look for support somewhere in this range off of this low, suggesting now more aggressive buyers, suggesting a change in the descending demand structure. Okay. This is very interesting. Very, very interesting. What's up to everybody in the chat room? Salam Muhammad, Influence, Indy, Carl, Gray Market, Big Stats, Bougie. What's up, everybody? Hey, thanks for hanging out. Anybody, all you got to do is just hit subscribe. You can join the chat room. I'd love to take your question. Drop me a comment on one of the videos, and I'll usually see it. We'll see. But I'm just putting out a ton of stuff on YouTube. Hopefully you guys are checking that out. You know, I live stream probably twice a week, maybe less, but I'm going to be doing daily videos, right? For sure, putting out daily content, more short form content. I think people want to absorb that. Mr. Kidden says, thanks for the alpha. Thank you. So SEI, let's take a look at it. I think I saw, was it Rand Paul or what is it? Rao Paul? Is he big in this? Or I think I saw him tweeting this out. Unless it was like Sui that I was confused with. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a short setup, right? Why is it a short setup? It is a bounce into the peak of a potential reversal range. Well, why is that appealing? Well, most reversal patterns fail, okay? Trends tend to continue. So A, you have a chart that's a downtrend, right? Price below a falling MA200. And you have a bounce into resistance, which is lost support. So, and, you know, resistance here. So it's at a very big level. I mean, it's very easy to say it's at a big level, but this is rather clear. Chopping through it, what do I think? There's a bunch of volume here. I think it's unclear if it's going to break out of this base. I'm not convinced that it's super bullish yet. I can see a lot of people wanting to be bullish here, but I certainly remain cautious. I want to see it just above 30 cents and just staying there, and that's just a very rough number. I think I still could see this maybe a little further consolidation. Look for support. So look a little bit lower, see if support holds. Does not have a straight breakout look to me, and the price has bounced into resistance, so it's a potential short setup. Or obviously keep your invalidation close by. But even if you're trying to be long, I would be cautious, just given the picture. Let's see. Carl says 75K soon on Bitcoin. Carl? How do we get there and why? I mean, why 75K soon? I think if you look at the weekly chart, there's been no damage done by bulls. We've been consolidating. We're holding price sideways. We've just now had a very gentle test of 100K. You have a lot of support well above the level you're discussing. So, I mean, I don't see the reason why I would go there. I don't see any evidence of that. Somebody asked me about syrup, and somebody had mentioned that. I have it here on my list. There's just not a lot of price history. So I think the question is, like, next level to buy in. I mean, you need more price history to have any kind of confidence in the chart. It's just available on other exchanges with more price history, like maybe Kraken or like Mexi or something, just to see here. Okay, a little bit more here, a little bit more price history here. Okay, it's a bullish chart. So if you are, it still is a little bit of a lack of price history. And it still is a little bit of a lack of price history, but some evidence of demand here, and this would be a higher low that bulls would want to defend. So maybe you would wait and see if it tests in this low 40s to 40 cents range. David says, do you mean no damage done by bears? Yeah, bears have done no damage on Bitcoin is what I'm saying. So I don't understand talking about lower. What's my outlook on Chainlink? It sucks. Link is a really bad chart. You should delete it from your watch list. Sell and move on. Delete it. Incredibly weak versus Bitcoin. The weekly chart, yeah, I don't really like it at all. Don't like it at all. And this is a big problem. Failing to hold here. MA200's rolling over. I think Chainlink's probably going to like $6-7 from here. I don't like the chart. I don't like the chart. I'm being a little bit harsh, but I don't like the chart. Oh, he's big into SUI. Let's talk about SUI, not SEI. Okay. Yeah, and look, it's a pretty clear level to manage your risk. The March 24 peak, October 24 peak. I'm sure you can see it in the weekly chart. So I think he put out, a chart something like this. This is a pretty straightforward chart. You don't have to go to, do CMT to kind of recognize this as a key stair-stepping level. David says, you said bulls? Maybe. I definitely misspeak. I mean, and at the time when I say it, I said what I meant to say, but then I'll go back and listen. And I'm like, oh, I said this when I literally meant that. Like I said, I did that 3-minute video today, and I think I said like MA 400 instead of MA 200, but because I was thinking 4-hour MA 200. It's funny how that works. Okay. BCH. I looked at SUI. What's up, Erondel? Yeah, I'll look at BCH. Bitcoin Cash has had relative strength. Let's take a little look at that. Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for joining me in this fine Friday, June 27, 2025. Yeah, Bitcoin Cash has relative strength. You actually have a local breakout here. That's interesting. Breaking above this peak. So, and it's testing and looking to break even this 2024 highs. So you want to go to the weekly chart even, right? I would go to the weekly chart, very strong weekly advance. Any kind of simple 2-level filter has done well for you. You're well in the profit. Even just waiting until 400. Oh, you missed the bottom. I mean, you're up essentially, 25% from a simple weekly 2-level filter. Maybe you got chopped through here, or you set your lower high break somewhere even lower. Maybe 380 was reasonable. So weekly's turned around, advancing towards these highs. Zoom back. I want to zoom back and say, okay, overall quite choppy. You can see this level is the most important one going forward, and essentially the price is pushing towards the peak, right? of the range. This high, this high. It's a question of, I think it probably would pause around 600, right? So it's still got a little bit of room to run, I think. And it's breaking out here, grinding up here locally. So I think it's got pretty good room to run to up to around 580 to 600, then probably will pause there. And, this is the best guess is it would probably come back and then retest somewhere in this range. It's a decent looking chart though. Decent looking chart. All right, folks, how's everybody doing? Give me some interesting questions. It's me and you, right? We have this opportunity to talk together and hang out. Make sure you're checking out my new videos, right? Daily education. There's 3 minutes and shorts too, right? So check out my YouTube. You're here now, but I'm trying to keep you coming back with some good stuff, right? I explain tweets and I do stuff like, so far I've done like, what have I done?
Hello,
it's not
everybody.
what I wanted to do.
It's Big Cheds.
Yep, it is Big Cheds. What I wanted to do was show you a view full playlist. So I've done like 2-level filter and what one of my tweets mean underside, what's an uptrend, moving average basics. So I'm gonna try to do a mix of like me explaining a tweet and then like timeless and timeless education. And I'm gonna try to make it all timeless. So you absorb it in bites, in little bits. Absorb, the information at your own pace. What's up, Harley? What's up, Jabril? Oh, syrup used to be maple. Okay. No kidding there. ETH looks like Pulse. What's up, brother? ETH looks like it could go to 1500 demand zone. Yeah. I can't overlook 2150. I just don't see how anybody can and should. Look at the price response here recently off the tower top. How important this level has been for the last several years. It's the most important level in the chart. I understand what you're saying. I will have to give bulls, benefit above 2150 until it breaks. So I really don't, it just feels premature to me. And maybe I'm wrong, right? You know my style, but I go level to level, and this especially is the most important level. So I'm not necessarily going to overlook it. Oceanic says, thanks for the videos. Hey, thank you, bud. And everybody watching on replay, thank you. And I know, I know it's worldwide and it's kind of late. My European friends are sleeping or getting ready to sleep. Asian friends are asleep. I'll try to do it earlier during the week normally, so you can try to come. But if you're watching a replay, thank you as well. Do I think Ripple will appeal or pay the finers move on? Is this for anyone with thoughts? Yeah, maybe you folks can answer that. I don't know. And I don't know if that has anything or matters with the chart. I don't know what the fine is. I mean, there's been such a FUD overhang on Ripple for like as long as I've been looking at it, which is like 8 years plus, and so it's always had the big FUD overhang. I just don't know that news will matter too much. The trend is still decent, and certainly as long as it holds above 205 range, I'm giving edge to bulls. All right. There's a good chat room. So I basically talked about Bitcoin and what the follow through was on the 4-hour outside bar, and the context of it was pretty good. All right, this is the 4-hour outside bar I talked about here. Context of it was pretty good. Is you had the decline into the outside bar, right? It's the idea of, and I'll do like a quick education video on outside bars, right, at some point. Is you have a move down into it. It's like a reversal candle. You want to have something to reverse, right? So it was after a move down, while the price is interacting with the key daily level, 100K zone, right? So it's an interesting spot, and the follow through on it has been pretty good, right? Several opportunities to get long here, 4H2 level filter, simple daily range, wick recaptures, any number of these levels. You have the ability to get long exposure with the idea of rejoining the longer trend. So it gave you a nice little opportunity, and even with the idea, even believing what I believe, that it should bounce and then somewhere in here set a lower high. I think that's kind of what I'm thinking now is we've done that, and we're out. And as I said here after the bounce and a little bit of fall through on the bounce, I said that now the price, this is whatever, a couple days ago. This is 4 days ago. It looks to set a lower high somewhere between here and 107K. Well, maybe it's at 108, right? Lower high, which is fine because it would make sense to test demand now that we've recaptured support back in the range. Healthy mid-channel retests. No, I didn't know that. Don't show this again. Nope. Get the hell out of it. healthy mid-channel retest and go. And now that the price is consolidated a little bit, now that the price, things have reset a little bit, that's healthy. That would, that would be that would make sense to me. And to put in a lower high is okay. We already know we're in a consolidation phase anyway. I don't understand that people thinking we just shoot to an all-time high. That wouldn't make sense to me. It would be illogical given the weekly picture, which is bullish consolidation, high and tight, price above the EMA 8. So, all right, that's fun, folks. Thank you. Let's see. So check out BingX if you're looking for an exchange. Check me out on Twitter at Big Cheds. I'm super active on YouTube now, daily education series, even some shorts. I'm doing my Trading Quotes book, and the Trading Journal is on Amazon if you're looking for it. The reviews are in. People like it. I'm super proud of this project. Check that out. And, any questions, try to leave me a comment or feedback. I'll try to see your comments. I don't see them all, but I appreciate them, and I appreciate you folks. So let's finish it off with a little bit. Oh, you saw me on Crown. Yeah, it was a great show. Yeah. Ezra, definitely, folks. Go to Eric Crown's YouTube, and I did a video with him a couple days ago. It was really, really good. So, and I'm working on some other collabs as well, but that was excellent. We had a really nice conversation about the market. So, take a look at that, and I will talk to you folks soon. Let's go, Church of 8 Wheels. And hope everybody has a great weekend, too.